There is a stray term, a terminology in hair transplant, which we keep hearing every now and then. A patient wanting to future-proof his baldness. Now, what is future-proofing as the patient sees it? Future-proofing means that the patient does not want future procedures. He wants the doctor to gaze into the crystal ball and predict how his baldness is going to evolve over the years. So he is saved from future procedures, so that in one time he can get a hair transplant. He doesn't have to come again to the doctor. Well, I wish this was true and we could do many more grafts. Not only the patient, the doctor also would benefit, because he will not be doing just 3,000 or 3,500 grafts. He can do up to 12,000 grafts in a single session. And this is happening in many clinics as well. 10,000, 12,000 grafts for grade 3 baldness has now become a reality. The field of hair transplant is such that you just have to make a wish and it gets fulfilled. So as in this patient, he came to me 2 years back for his hair transplant. Grade 3 male pattern baldness, and as you can see that we have done due justice to his baldness, given him adequate density of grafts around 55 to 60 per centimeter square. And you can even see after 2 years how well the youthfulness of his hairline has been maintained. However, if you see, his crown has started to show now. And if you compare it with the old pictures, there is a significant change in the crown area. And if you compare the two pictures over a span of 2 years, you can see that the baldness in the crown area has since progressed. And this is progressed because he has been off and on finasteride, not very compliant, not very committed to medical treatment, which was prescribed. And the baldness has progressed further. So now he's come for a second hair transplant. And the question that he asked me, like many people would do, that doctor, why couldn't we predict the baldness in this area, and why did you not plant hair here so that I didn't have to come for a second session? So this is the predicament in the minds of many patients who read about hair transplant all over the net. All sorts of information is available, some good and some bad, some reliable and some totally nonsense. So we went about to do his hair transplant to cover his crown area. So the question is, can a hair transplant doctor predict future baldness? Well, most likely he can, because from the patient's family history, he can more or less guess how his baldness pattern is going to progress. Also, by closely examining the scalp, he can assess where the hair are thinning and where the hair have thinned to a great extent, where baldness is soon going to appear. But well, the question is, will the doctor do something about it? Yes, he very well can. He can plant hair there. He can future-proof that area. So why does he not do that? He doesn't do that because of some reasons. Number one reason is that we do not know whether this is the end stage of the patient's baldness pattern. It does not mean that thinning hair will progress to baldness. Secondly, we do not know whether baldness will skip this area of thinning and start aggressively appearing in other areas. New areas of baldness in the mid-scalp, lateral humps descending down much more, temple points receding. So committing limited number of grafts, because grafts are not limitless, they are a non-expandable, non-expendable resource. Every graft is precious and we have to think twice before recruiting them to a particular area. We have to be very sure that what we are doing is optimal utilization of graft availability, because it is a limited resource. Everybody knows that. But there are certain instances in which we can do future proofing when the hair shaft diameter is less than, say, 40%. We can go in and do a hair transplant, because most likely this hair will not recover through finasteride or medical treatment. Secondly, when the baldness has progressed to such an extent that only 40% of hair remain, we can go in and do the plantation. If we do plantation when 70% hair remain and the thinning of the hair has not progressed sufficiently beyond 50%, there is a huge risk in planting between existing native thinning hair. For two reasons: because there is not enough space. Slit making is a blind process. Hair direction underneath the skin may vary from what is apparent to us even under magnification. So we may be causing permanent permanent shock loss. And the hair which do not undergo permanent shock loss may, due to competition for the available blood supply, the vascularity, the weak hair might not get enough blood supply because now they are competing with the strong, robust hair which have been implanted, and they will soon die off. The process of baldness gets speeded up when we plant hair close to native thinning hair, and especially hair which are thinning to more than 50%. So optimal utilization of available grafts is the buzzword for hair transplant. The grafts are limited in number, and especially when you have higher grades of baldness, every graft that you have is precious. We have to think twice before recruiting it for plantation in areas where the need is not so much. Since baldness is ever progressing, it's a dynamic process. Newer areas of baldness keep appearing every time. So that is the talk for the day, future proofing of baldness. And if you like this talk, let me know, and do subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching again. If you have any doubts in your mind, do leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll reply back to you. If you want a personal consultation, contact us on the number provided and we'll get back to you. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day and God bless you.